morning, good morning. As you're watching this, I don't know where I am at the moment. Does that make a lot of sense? But I thought I would give you a recent rendition of my Hobonichi. I chose at the beginning of this year to put less politics in my Hobonichi. I'm still documenting it because I think it's very important to be documented, but I'm not putting it in my Hobonichi because my Hobonichi, as they call it, they label it a life book. I would prefer to not have the crap that's going on in this country in my life book. I would like it somewhere else because when I open this book, I want to smile. I don't want to be afraid and scared and anyhow. So there's a couple little things like what he said about some of the plane crashes that have already happened and things like that. And anyhow, so I choose to put packaging from anything, current affairs beyond politics, receipts, pictures of my artwork, Procreate tidbits, and jot down parts of my daily life. And if any of you don't know, I grew up in California, in the San Francisco area, but the fires in California at the beginning of January were just horribly tragic. Horribly tragic. And the things that have been by the President of the United States to correct all of that in the future is completely and utterly not going to work. We all know that. We all know that except for him. And he probably knows it too. He just likes to think that if he says it, people believe him. So, just some of that stuff. And little tidbits. I keep a little spot on my phone and notes with a date and just a blurb because I don't get to do this. Obviously, I'm way behind. And there are times when I've been really far behind. And I don't want to lose the spontaneity of the feeling that was happening that day. So I write it in my notes app and then I go back and fill in spots. The way I like to do it is I like to put in pictures and or things that I get from the internet of like newspaper headings and stuff. And that goes in first because those are usually bigger. And then some kind of art project that I've been doing, working on, thinking about, envying, anything. And a stamp that I would like to make, now that I am into this mode of making stamps. And then I put in like food labels, thus that. Right now I'm big into fruit labels. We probably won't have any more avocado labels lately coming up in the future. Then there's the big, snowstorm we had here. Here being Surfside, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is had the most recorded snow in recorded history. And then I fill in the gaps with color. I fill in with scraps of paper on my desk. I might put a swatch of, if I've got paint left over on my paintbrush, I might put a paint swatch someplace. Just like to keep it chaotic in the best sort of way, in the most colorful sort of way I can, and texture and layers and pop of stuff. Like hostages getting released in Israel and blah, blah, blah. So, and I keep a basket also, in both places, at the beach and at home, of my receipts. So I know there's a certain pocket in my purse that they're in, so I always go and clean that out. Right now I'm big into making my own alphabet. So I created the word snow with that alphabet, and it's all my stuff blurred around, but cut out in the shape of letters, all done on Procreate. Um, and I like to use markers. I like to use ink pens. I like to use anything I can get my hands on. I'm not a big pen person, all the different pens and things, but I do have a Lamy Safari that I got at the weirdest place, the Dallas airport, 2 years ago, and it's purple, so I had to get it. And I do like using it. I just don't always remember to keep it with me, and I don't have it with me right now. I left it at home. I left my whole Shakespeare tin full of pens at home somehow this time. Um, and I just glue things in. I put a lot of washi tape uh, originally because I was a place without my glue stick, and I put all these pictures down of the snow with washi tape so I wouldn't lose them. And I kind of like it looking like this on this particular page, so I'm leaving it. And the dog, his reactions to the snow. He has seen snow a couple times at our house, but I mean, we don't, obviously in South Carolina, we don't get a lot of snow in the middle of the state or the coast. So that's where we live. And it's just, I love working on this book. I never get tired of it. I'm never bored with it. Um, I never, uh, I never not want to do something like this. Even when I don't have a Hobonichi, I've done it in a composition notebook from Walmart for 97 cents. Um, I've done the passport size, I've done this size. I've never, and I think I have like 5 years or 6 years of this now. And I have them all. When I get home, I'm going to show you. I have them all on a bookcase now, all together. And my style has changed a little bit over the years, but I just love this part of documenting. And the glue, of course, I love cutting out paper and gluing it down to other pieces of paper and then maybe cutting it again. I love all of that. And that motion of a glue stick on paper, you're all going to think I'm nuts. I just love it. I just love it. I love saving pieces of my life. The packaging from the pen set that I got. Um, the paper that's on the left is the getting my mojo ready for the journal I'm working in now, the art journal, which is called Crown Jewels. And that's the paper I made to try to, can I do this? Do I want to do this? I played with some of the aspects that I thought I might pick out. And I have a little bit of it left that I haven't used in other places, so I'm going to put it in here. I don't use the beginning calendar pages, so I make lists there. I make lists of things to take back to the beach, things to take back home, when we have to be out of the beach house, when we need to start cleaning our stuff out because we put a lot of stuff away, because we rent it the other half of the year, and they're not going to appreciate all my seagulls in cross stitch or my little table toppers that I've done in fabric and that kind of stuff. So I put all that kind of stuff away. And actually, the least tchotchkes, the better, because number one, nothing gets broken, nothing gets stolen. They move everything. So the least amount of stuff, the better. And we strip it back down to the bare bones, put it in our owner's closet, and off we go. And that takes a couple days to get it all out. It takes a couple days to get it all back. This is a new brand of sushi I found that I really, considering it's store-bought, pre-made, not made in a store deli, it's frozen. It's not bad. Now, when I say sushi, I only like shrimp and avocado rolls. I don't want eel. I don't want eggs. I don't want any of that stuff. That is not my forte. I need something cooked and or a raw vegetable. Throw in a little rice and some seaweed and I'm good. And maybe some soy sauce. But this bread is not bad. And they've got a couple different flavors. Anyhow, I I love, and I have said this many times on other Hobonichi type catch up journal videos. I love I love this remembering, documenting, collecting, coloring, Um, I just love it. I just love it. I used to say when I'm 80 in the nursing home, I'm going to remember what I did now. But really and truly, I'm not 80 yet, and I still love looking back at them. Labels from jeans, uh, how I want to get my hair cut, possibly. you know, everything goes in here. Everything goes in here. We're kind of sedentary at the beach. Actually, we're more sedentary at home. Um, we live in South Carolina, and we have pulled ourselves away from a lot of social obligations because of the political climate in the state of South Carolina that does not agree with our personal choices. And there's a whole uh, mess of stuff behind all that thought process and uh, my husband's career. I mean, everything. So it all, we're very sedentary. And so there's not a lot of, parties. There's not a lot of gatherings. There's not a lot of classes that I take. I don't even go to my art group anymore. I know. But until this climate changes, I don't need to come home angry from every event I go to because I'm the only one in the group that feels normally. And South Carolina is just where we are now. That's just the way it is in this state right now. And so my journaling and my documenting and my life has changed a lot in the last, say, 8 years. Um, and so I've adapted my style. I've adapted my artwork. I've adapted my documenting. I've adapted everything to a more sedentary life currently. I don't expect it to stay like that. We do get to travel, but of course, we're getting older. My husband doesn't like to go anymore as much. He invited himself to England, which was fine. Um, I was going to go anyhow when we went in August, but we don't go typically as much as we used to. Um, we don't even do the weekend trips because now we're doing a lot of, almost the entire winter at the beach. So things just, you evolve. You evolve into a different version of yourself, an older version, possibly in my case. And you are a little slowing down more. And so things do change. I don't have any more, Aerosmith concert tickets in my in my Hobonichi anymore. I wouldn't have given the opportunity, most likely. Um, but just it is just the routine. I don't even think affects me. But the looking back at it and collecting. My husband's used to seeing an orange peel label, on the corner of the microwave because that's where I'll see it in my face, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to take this upstairs. And he's good about bringing books home from the trash. He's good. He has adapted to my lovely habit, and uh, I strongly recommend. I mean, it is right now. I'm using it completely, not completely, but heavily as therapy. And everything I do with a piece of paper or a glue stick or a paintbrush is therapy for me right now. I have to have a distraction mentally. And this fills in a couple boxes for sure. But these pieces of paper, I just, loved them. And I set them aside and put them in my basket for my Hobonichi. And I'm like, yep, now I can put them down. And when I have empty spots or days that nothing, really spectacular happened, that's where they go. And they might go next to, a news article later, or they might go next to something about the dog, and or something about another piece of art, another painter I discovered on YouTube University. So uh, I love it. I love it. So I'm going to let you go there. And tomorrow, I don't know what kind of video you'll have, but I'm at a sewing retreat right now, a quilting retreat. And I decided to film some stuff ahead of time so that I would not have a gap in your viewing. Because Lord knows you can't miss a day of me, right? Right. Thanks for watching. Bye.